I'll just say it right now when we start. Okay, cool. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm in a good mood today. Today's a very, very nice day. It is Halloween weekend. I have my basic bitch drink. I have my pumpkin cream cold brew.
That shit was dark as hell earlier. I didn't know that shit was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a little pumpkin. It's the holiday seasons. I fucking love the holidays. I love them, but then I don't, but I do. You know? I was gonna dress up as Bad Bunny in this one music video because it's just like he wears just a brown like hoodie and sweatpants and like a hat and glasses, but it got kind of warm in here. Well, when I was doing my makeup, so I was like, forget it. But I tried. Not really.
That's the thought that counts.
It's okay. I'm gonna dress up later. I have a different costume for later. But welcome back to wow, I can't talk. I have a fucking show called Let Me Fucking Talk, and then I can't even talk. But welcome back, guys. I think it's the
irony in it.
It's the cold brew kicking in. I'm just like, oh my god. So speaking of, so this past weekend, I went to go visit Julio, which was very nice. It's been a year since his dad passed away. So we, hung out with his family, and it was a very nice time. But I also got to meet his boyfriend. His name is Alex, and we really like Alex, and he's really nice. I really like him. But he was showing us, okay, so think about Alex. He actually is a manager at Starbucks, and we like to make fun of it, or not make fun of it, but like, well, whenever it's like Starbucks related, we're just like, we always look at him. But he showed us this video. It's like kind of disturbing, but kind of fucking funny and fucked up, of this like cartoon lady, and she's like, she goes in the drive-thru to get her pumpkin latte or whatever, and then she gets out, and at first it starts out nice. She's like, 1 pumpkin spice latte, please. And the cashier's like all nice, like, hi, here's your change, here's your whatever. Okay, so on. She like parks for a second, she downs it, and then she goes back around the line again, and she's like, can I have a pumpkin chai latte? And then she gets to the cashier, and he's like, oh, you again. She's like, yeah, so where's my drink? And he's like, here you go. All still nice. Drinks it and then goes again, but like, and so she keeps going on and on, but as she's going, you just see her like slowly turn into a pumpkin, and it's like kind of disturbing because it's like fucked up, and it's like this, it was so funny, dude, but it was really disturbing too, and to the point where like she's just going psycho, and at one point there was a car like in front of her, and like they weren't moving fast enough, so you see her just drive into the car and push it, and you see this person like screaming, and yeah. So it was funny because then after that we went to Starbucks like the next day, and I got a pumpkin cream cold brew, and I was like, Alex, because the way she drinks it too, she like puts her whole mouth over the cup. I was like that too. And he was like, no, don't do that.
And is this a TikTok?
Yeah, it was a TikTok. On my makeup, but yeah, it was funny. I don't know, it was funny to me. I feel like you have to see the video to see how funny it was, but anyways, hi guys. I'm a little hopped up on cold brew, but I know you went to go see Arl Grime for his Halloween thing. How was that?
Like I told you before, dude, that shit was lit. Like, our Grime's holding it down. He's obviously it was a very diverse set, so he threw in just more than just trap. Mm-hmm. He'll throw in some break beat, a little bit of drum and bass, a little bit of kind of like that tech house. Very, very, very diverse. Honestly, like I just texted, Ernesto just texted me, because he's already uploaded the mix.
Shut up already.
I'll send it to you later. I'll send it to you once we're done. But it's a phenomenal hour and 20 something, and our grind gets down.
It looked fun.
It looked mad fun. It was fun.
Because there was a good amount of you guys that were there, and I knew a couple other people that were there. So I was like watching stories, and I was like, it looked like a good time.
Yeah, from our friend, from people that obviously is Ernesto, Danny, Eileen, Nancy, Cece was there, Pete, which is Tenzu, yeah, a few good people went. Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun.
You said Pete, and I thought of someone that I knew, and I was just like, no. But it's funny because like my first boyfriend in high school, his name was Pete. So like whenever I hear that name, I always think of him. Funny. I hope he's doing well. Anyways, it sounds like a fun time. And then later today, we're gonna go to your place, and we're gonna have a little Halloween party, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that too. Yeah.
I love the holidays. But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think what else is new. Oh yeah, I cut my hair. As you guys can see, I got bangs. Clearly, I am going through it. Just kidding. I mean, I kind of was, but I've been wanting to get bangs for like a minute, which is funny because somewhere out there in the world, there's a picture of me in the 5th grade. So my tia actually cut my hair one time. Not this tia that you know, but a different one. She cut my hair one time because my mom was just like, yeah, she's been wanting to cut it. And my tia was like, oh, I'll cut it. Me, I'm in 5th grade. I don't really think much of it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So she cuts my hair, but she cuts it and she gives me bangs, but she also cuts it. And the thing with my hair, as you guys can see, I have a lot of hair. It's really thick. So I get layers done because if not, like when you cut it just blunt like that, it looks funny to me personally. So I like to cut it in layers because it gives it a little bit dimension and doesn't look so abrupt. And so like when you cut my hair like that, she cut it really short. So it was kind of like a bob. So like here and like bangs. And I straight up look like Dora. There's pictures of me out there in the world in the 5th grade with like a Dora haircut. Ever since then, I was like, I'm never getting bangs again. I'm never going to have bangs. I mean, I had bangs, but like the kind where it was like, when I was, little emo moment where it was like swoop to the side, or like curtain bangs, but not like straight up like blunt bangs like that. And even these, when I asked her for it, I need to straighten them. They're not banging right now. But when I asked her to cut them,
the bangs aren't banging.
The bangs aren't fully banging right now. But when I asked her to cut them, I was just like, I kind of want wispy bangs. Shout out Ruby at Sarah's salon, I think that was called. It's like on Nordhoff and Tampa. She got my hair right. I really liked her. A lot of the time I have a very hard time trying to find like a hairstylist or someone that like I vibe with or that knows how to take care of my hair. Like I've gone to a bunch of other places where they have a hard time with my hair and it kind of sucks. And she was telling me that she gets that a lot. Like she's had a lot of girls come and she's just like, you're not the first girl I've had with this type of texture hair, that's like more thick and you have a lot more of it. It's like not really hard to deal with. And you're not the first girl where I've heard like they've had like trauma from like past hairstylists who will get really impatient, especially with me when I've colored it or I've cut it or I've tried to style it because I have so much hair and it's usually pretty long and like they get impatient with it. And especially me because my family, they're indigenous. So I have very like indigenous hair. So a lot of people like that aren't, experienced with my type of hair, they get frustrated, especially because, like other types of hairs are like, they either have it really thin or really fine or not as much. So she made me feel very comfortable. So shout out Ruby. She's dope. She's really sweet too. She like was reposting my podcast stuff and I was like, wow, you're so nice. Like she followed me back on Instagram and she was, shout out Ruby. Like if you need your hair done, she does really good like colored hair too. Like I was looking at her stuff. So if you want your hair done and you live in the valley, go to her. She's amazing. Shout out Ruby. But yeah, so I got my hair. I went to visit Julio. I was having a little moment, I don't want to get too much into it because it's like not something I really want to talk about a lot yet. I'm gonna do like a full episode, especially because I've been reading this book, or I read it already. It was a great book. It's called why am I blanking on the name? It's a very unique name too, but I got like the audio version of it because it's sometimes easier for me to listen to audio versions while I'm at work. Oh, it's called "Don't Text Your Ex Happy Birthday." Good book by Nick Viall. He was actually an ex-bachelor on the Bachelor. So going into it, I was very skeptical because I'm just like, whatever, like what kind of, but I've listened to his podcast and he gives really good dating advice. So I was curious to read it. And honestly, it's a really good book. A lot of the stuff in there that he says is very common sense. It's stuff I already know when it comes to relationships, but it's a very good perspective and it's a very blunt way of like kind of looking at relationships. And it came out at a very interesting time because obviously, like you guys know, I've talked about the fact that I've been dating someone and, Mr. Clean is a really good person. I think he's a very nice person, very kind. He's a good person, but it didn't work out and it kind of sucked. I'm not going to lie, obviously why, like, I mean, I wanted to change my hair already, but it was kind of an excuse, kind of like that. It's like that corny ass, like, stereotypical thing where, girls like to change their look when they go through like a breakup or whatever. So it was kind of a good excuse to do it. And also why like I took off to go visit Julio because I just needed time with like someone that, you know, means a lot to me. And I also made plans with like even Perla and Alexis that same weekend. So I definitely want to do an episode kind of talking about how to like work through that. Like when you're going through a heartbreak sounds very dramatic, but it kind of is like that. And I want to do that, especially with a guest I have coming up, because, you know, she's been there with me through a lot of different heartbreaks in my life. So I definitely want to do that further on. Also, because, like, it's still a little hard to talk about, but like I said, he's a good person. It was very amicable. We're good. And shout out Victor and Leslie. Victor's his roommate, and Leslie is his girlfriend. They're great people. I'm still in contact with Leslie. Cause I even told him straight up, like I'm still like be cool with her even if we don't work out, and I'm glad that we still are. Like she was one of the first people that I talked to after everything happened, and she's a great person. So shout out her, shout out Victor, because Victor was always really nice to me too. You know what I really liked about Leslie is that she's like a girl's girl. Cause even when obviously I'm not gonna get into it too much because like my stuff with him is very like, you know, out of respect, that's our situation, but when she would give me advice about it, and it wasn't from a perspective where it was like more convenience to him, even though like obviously they're more his friends, but she would looked out for me like woman to woman, and like we were, you know, she would give me very solid advice and she would listen, and she was really cool. Like I really like her. She's a girl's girl. That's what I really like about her. Like she, no matter what, it's just I love girls like her. Like her, she's amazing. But yeah, so shout out them. But we're cool. So definitely want to, that's like something that I definitely want to do, because anyone that knows me, just because like I haven't been in a relationship in a long time doesn't mean I don't give really solid relationship advice. Because, you know, I've been through my own share of like things throughout my life, and definitely want to get into that, especially with a guest I have lined up for next month. I have a couple guests lined up for next month. Hopefully, I just need to like confirm dates and we'll coordinate. But yeah, so that's gonna be very exciting. But yeah, other than that, I just got away for a bit, kind of decompressed, changed my hair, and you know, life's been good for the most part. Like today, oh, been back on my gym shit, which has been amazing. You know, today especially, I was telling Aldo, today was one of those days where the gym just hit extra good. The workout was extra good, and then I like to work out in the morning when I can, but like for the most part, I try to. Some days because of work and stuff, like I'll go in the afternoon or like the evening. But usually I like going in the morning, and I'll go before like I have like a big breakfast or anything like that. So today the workout hit super good, and then right after, probably because I was hungry and the workout was really good, but my breakfast just hit different. You know what I mean? Like it was just really good. I had an avocado toast and this like scramble that I made with like hash browns and eggs and hams and onions and peppers, and it was so good. But yeah, so today, so I didn't have too many questions. Also, guys, follow on the Instagram, follow on the Twitters now, TikTok, all the things, and engage, participate. You know, I don't have too many. I posted on my story and on the page's story like for a Q&A. And y'all suck. You guys all watched it and you guys didn't ask a question. It could be a dumb question. It could be a simple question. I don't care. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding. You guys don't suck. I love you guys. But engage, guys. You know, participate. Because there's going to be days like this where I don't know what I want to talk about and we're just going to ramble. But I also kind of want to do Q&As because it'd be fun. So today we're going to do a little Q&A, and I'm hoping that we can just like build on that. So Aldo, what do we got?
Let's start off with the first batch of questions. Let's start off with our boy Yessie, shall we? Mm-hmm. He dropped two questions. It's kind of hilarious. He said, first question, do you want to go to London with us next October? And then he followed with, can I have time to think about my question? Did that one count? Great, now it's two.
He probably asked that one first, and then the other one came up. But London is somewhere I've always wanted to go. Like for sure, is on my list. Europe in general, but London for sure is up there. It just looks like a vibe. But also, because Harry Potter, I want to go to, what's it called? The station where they have like everything. You know, on September 1st, which is the day supposedly, but that's the day usually like they go from King's Cross to Hogwarts. So apparently every year, like in somewhere in England at a station, they do the whole thing where it's like, oh, now off to Hogwarts and like all that stuff. And there's a bunch of people that go like every year and they'll have their wands all dressed up. And I was like, that's so fucking cute. I saw it on TikTok this past September and I was like, I have to go one year. There's going to be one year where I got to go like in September around that time. But October next year, I feel like that would be fun. You know, let me think about it. Because there's a couple places I want to go to next year, but at the same time, it's very up in the air. I'm trying to, life right now, it's kind of like I'm taking everything, you know, a step at a time. There's some things that I want to work on in this next year for sure. I've pretty much come to terms with, I'm pretty much like retired on raving for a bit. And festivals in general, besides like Coachella. And then I'm not even going to EDC next year anymore. I already told Julio. Like, we already decided we're not going anymore.
Damn, so that's 2 people already, because Ernesto might not go either.
I know. It's just, that's the thing though. And that's why I don't like planning too far ahead right now. Because I change my mind a lot. And then also there's just other things in my life I'm trying to prioritize too. It's kind of that time of, you know, age right now where I'm just trying to figure things out. You know, I'm 26, I'm gonna turn 27 next year, and I'm just trying to balance a lot of things, but I do want to travel a little bit more. Colombia is also on my list, especially after talking to Sav this past weekend. Oh, that's another thing I did. I went to go see Sav. You know, he's part of Fight Club, but also part of Flagrant Drums, and he had another Jungla show this weekend, which was amazing, and I love Sav. I always love seeing him, and he did amazing. Him and Yanni, always a good time. But yeah, what was the question? Oh yeah, London. So yeah,
London. Yeah,
I mean, I could see that happening. Fuck it, I'll see what I can do. I'm gonna try. I can't guarantee anything right now, but I'd definitely be down. Also, definitely want to go to Colombia one day, because Sav tells me all the time, he's just like, come visit me, just let me know ahead of time, and like, I'll show you around and we'll have a good time. So Colombia is definitely like on the table for sure too now. So
Sab is currently living in Colombia.
Yeah, he lives out there now.
Oh, no way. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he moved out there a few months ago, and he says that coming here, like back to the States, is always so weird because it's like very different. Everything in Colombia is like more chill, more
the pacing.
Yeah, the pacing and just like the way you look at life, and everything's cheaper. And I'm like, well, yeah. He's like, the only thing is they don't have a lot of tequila out there. And they have like, he was telling me how they do have a tequila bar like really close to where he lives, but it's like more expensive. And I get it. I mean, out there, they mainly drink aguardiente, which aguardiente hurts my soul every time I drink it. We drink it anytime we go to Escala, because Escala is a Korean and Colombian fusion restaurant. It's really good. We actually got to go sometime. You would like it. The food is bomb. We always get a picada, which is like a bunch of little things, and it's like corn and what is it called? Short ribs and fried wings and chicharron and sausages, and it's a bunch of little stuff, but it's really good. And they actually have a pretty good happy hour too. But that was the first time I had aguardiente, was when we've gone to Escala. He's brought it back before. The thing with aguardiente, so there's 2 versions, the kind that has like sugar in it and the kind that doesn't. The one that has sugar in it, very much not as bad as, okay, not like Jaeger, but like very much like kind of that licoricey sweetness that's kind of gross. Yeah, it's kind of like that. When it doesn't have sugar in it, it's still nasty, but a little bit less nasty.
Interesting.
But and Sav doesn't mind. He knows I'm not the biggest fan, but I'll drink it when I'm with him. But it's funny because we drank some on Saturday, and he was just like, he's like, so what drinks are we gonna do? And we looked and we're like, shot aguardiente. No, he's just like, kind of tired of it. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're in Colombia, so that's all you guys have. But yeah, it was cool. Sorry, I went on like a whole other tangent besides the question. So
that's okay. But to conclude, yes, you would be down for
would be down.
London.
I definitely want to
next
go
year in October.
so I'd be down.
Yeah.
I'll see what's up.
Yeah, I was asked about that too, but I doubt I'll be able to do that, especially since
You have Stilo's and Michelle's wedding too,
yes,
huh?
yeah. So it's, obviously we have our good brethren here, Ron and Isa. They're getting married next year.
I'm excited for that.
Thankfully, they are getting married here somewhere around here.
Yeah.
But obviously with Michelle and Silos, they're getting married in Hawaii.
That's crazy.
I'll be honest, since it'll be Perla and I's first time in Hawaii, I kind of want to make a trip out of that.
Oh, definitely.
So that's where my chips will be. And unlike you, I'm still a degenerate, so I'm gonna be doing festivals still next year. So
I want to, but I want to do ones that I haven't done yet. Like I've done Coachella, but I've never done the full weekend, so I want to do that. Maybe Arc, but that's like maybe. But if not, I kind of want to do Vibra again, or Baja. I haven't done Baja yet. So it's like more
do Baja,
it just,
all the
honestly,
ladies and shit.
I would love to, but it just depends on the timing and of everything, especially also with like, you have Silos and Michelle's wedding, which means Perla does too. So, and you guys don't know when that is yet, right?
I believe sometime in the summer.
Yeah, so see, and that's usually when Baja is. And I would go with Alexis too, but Alexis and I we were actually talking about this recently. We're both on the same page where we want to do certain things and like, that are branched out outside of that. But if we do happen to do like Baja again, it would be cool. But I told them about Vibra also. Oh, and then the main reason we're not going to do EDC anymore is because we're going to try and do Sueños in Chicago, which is a reggaeton festival also. And it literally lands on my birthday weekend. So that's why it's like...
Nah, easy pick.
Yeah.
Easy pick.
I fell in love with Chicago. I want to go back. I've honestly fell in love with it. It's really nice. It's funny. I saw this tweet where it's like, New York, you go to party. LA, you go to chill and relax. And Chicago is like a good fusion of both. I haven't been to New York yet, so I don't know. LA has its scene, but yeah, you kind of can chill a little bit more here.
We're more laid back. At least, like, true LA people are laid back. Mm-hmm. And that's not to say transplants aren't laid back either, but transplants, they be bitching by everything. Like, it's
like a different kind of chill. Yeah. Like for them, it's like
networking, Pilates,
yoga, hiking. For us, it's like,
no, we just chilling, dude. Yeah, we actually kicking back and cooling and shit. Mm-hmm. Whereas their type of chill, because that's the problem with transplants, they're and that's why I feel like they just don't know how to turn that switch of actually chilling and not just linking up with people to like, network and do all the other bullshit that they do as like quote unquote influencers and all that shit. So they get gassed out, and that's why it's like they always come out with these fucking like, yeah, LA is this, LA is that. I'm like, no, motherfucker, like change your.
I can go to a whole thing about that, but I totally get what you mean. But yeah, I fell in love with Chicago because it had such a nice vibe to it. It's funny though because a lot of people like when I say it, they're like, Isn't there like a lot of crime in Chicago? And I'm like, there is.
That's any major city though.
No, actually Chicago has like one of the highest crime rates.
Oh no, but we're talking like the.
But also like, bro, but we're also from LA, and it's like I know how to walk down a street and look out for myself, and also, I was more talking about like downtown Chicago, but I also liked the outskirts of Chicago too, like where Nessa lives. It's so cool. It's like there's grass everywhere and there's trees everywhere. And it's so funny because you don't realize how much greenery there is everywhere else until you go outside of California. Because even in the valley, there's more greenery than like in the city for sure. Like, there's palm trees, but there's also more trees. But then when you go somewhere else like Chicago, I'm like, damn, this is like different type of greenery.
You haven't been up North California.
I know I have too, but even more than that, because even when I go to San Jose, I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of greenery.
No, deep North California.
No.
Like Humboldt County, Eureka.
You've road tripped all the way up north. Like I haven't yet, but it does give me that same vibe. But I don't know, it's different.
You got to do it one day. I do. One day, yeah. Julio
and I actually have that in mind, but like I said, there's like so many plans. So little time. Also got to figure in like, work too. Got to save up for all that. So.
No doubt.
But yeah. Next question.
Right on. I'm going to go ahead and go with our good friend Des. She actually put two questions here, so I'll go off and start with the first one, which is something that I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to help a lot of people with. So her first question is, how do you get comfortable enough to go on a solo self date? Or yeah, how do you get comfortable enough to go on solo self dates?
That's a really good question. Especially, it's a very good question, especially right now, because I haven't always been really good at being alone. It's something that you definitely have to get comfortable in. And I know it's not something that everyone is. Like, I have definitely become a person where I had to very much force myself. You have to force yourself and be uncomfortable to get to that point where you're like, I can go out and do my own thing. Now I thoroughly enjoy it. I love spending time with myself. I'll take myself on dates. Um, I'll take myself out to eat. I'll take myself out to go check out some new thing that I want to look at. Like, or I've got like, or one time I remember going to Smorgasburg by myself, which is like the little foodie fest thing that they have every Sunday in LA. The thing is, you can't, because I remember like when I first started doing it, where I would go out by myself, I would get so in my head, and you sometimes think that people are staring at you or people are looking at you weird. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, everyone's just a little bit self-centered in the fact that everyone's kind of more focused on what the fuck they're doing, that they're not paying attention to you. It's like when you go to the gym, and I know especially Des, like she goes to the gym all the time. When you first start going to the gym, you're so self-conscious. You're just like, oh my God, people are staring at me. People are like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to work this machine. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. But people are so wrapped up in their own workout, they're not paying attention to you. It's the same thing when you go out. Don't think about it. And starting out, what I used to always do too is like I would keep one headphone in. Like if I'm going to eat, or if I'm like or if I'm taking myself out to, I remember I took myself out to a museum once, and I had one headphone in, and I'll listen to like a podcast, or I'll listen to music. After a while, you kind of just get more comfortable. I think it's good to like not have your headphones in completely, because you also miss out on the opportunity of making connections with other people. Because you never know when you like can be out in some bar and some girls or some dude comes up, like could be right next to you, and you want to start up a conversation. It's just forcing yourself to be uncomfortable, or being comfortable in the uncomfortable. Just fucking do it. That's all I can really say. Like, to do the solo dates, you just have to go for it. And the more you do it, the more you realize that you don't need anybody else to do anything. I think that's also why I'm good at being single, because even right now, I got really accustomed to having someone around, like, because we dated for like a couple months now. And, of course, like, it's nice to have someone there. And now it's like getting back into adjusting of, being alone. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think especially for women, there's such a pressure to have someone there, especially for women who want to have kids and want to have a family. It's like that old saying, like when you go visit your family and they're like, oh, ¿dónde está el novio? Or like, where's your boyfriend? It's like, you don't need anybody to do these things. You just have to force yourself to do it. Don't get self-conscious. Like, I remember this one time I was dating this guy, and it was so clear that this guy was not it. Like, it's so funny thinking back on it now. Like, all the signs were there that he was avoidant, that, he was emotionally unavailable, and, like, we were trying to make these plans, like, and he would always find an excuse not to meet up, and this, and that. And I remember I finally got really fed up because I really wanted to go see this movie. And you know me, I'm not much of a movie person, but I actually wanted to go see this movie. And I was waiting for him to be free so we can go see it, because we said that we would go see it together. Finally, I got fed up, and I was just, and I told him, I was just like, bro, I'm not going to keep making plans based on maybes and whatever. I remember he said I was right, and I was right, because I'm not going to keep like waiting around for this person and go see this. I was like, no, fuck this. And even then, like, I still tried to find someone else to see it with, and I was like, what, fuck it. I'm not waiting for anybody. I want to see this fucking movie. I'm going to go see this movie, even if I'm by myself. Fuck it. So I went, saw the movie, had a great time, got myself some snacks, And it was cool because it was like still around that weekend where it was still like really new. So they were giving out posters, and I was like, sure, look at me. And after you do it, you're just like, huh, I can do it. I can go on these solo dates by myself. And it's also just reminding yourself that when you're doing that, you're showing yourself love. You're showing love and appreciation to yourself. Because I can easily plan out a whole date with a guy or whatever, and it'll be the most amazing date, whatever. But when I'm not dating someone, why can't I show myself that same love, affection, and attention? It makes you cherish yourself more, especially your time and all that stuff, because it makes you realize that you don't need no man's, period. You don't need, oh, not even just a man. Like, you don't even need anybody, because sometimes I also hate, like, when I'm trying to make plans with friends to do shit, and, like, you know how those group chats be going, people lag or people are busy, and it's not a knock to them at all. This isn't me being upset about, like, my friends in that type of way. Like, it is what it is. We're all busy. We all got lives. So if you really want to do something, just go for it. I think that was the conclusion of that. Just do it. Just like one foot in front of the other. Just like the gym. Just one day at a time. Eventually you get comfortable with it. Yeah. Next question.
Okay. We'll go with Dez's second question. Another one that you could probably help others with as well. How do you meet people and make new friends?
Ooh. I feel like this one is hard and easy all at the same time, because it's just like the solo dates where you overthink it a lot and you get so in your head and you're just like, ooh, what if this person thinks I'm weird? What if like this? What if that? I think for me, I got really lucky when I started making a lot of new friends, especially after my last relationship. I noticed that after that relationship, or kind of towards the end of that relationship, is when I really started making a lot of new friends. And because of that, it's because like I got really into social media. Like I was always on Twitter. I was raving a lot. I would meet people through other people, you know? So it kind of just came naturally. And it's also kind of a me thing because I'm pretty good at talking to people. I know not everyone is, so that's why it's a little hard for me to kind of give people advice on this. But I will say, as an adult, you kind of go through this phase where you're just like, you start to not relate to certain friendships anymore. And it's okay. It's just, you know, people grow apart. People kind of do their own thing, like I said. And can't really get mad about that, you know. That's just all a part of being an adult, growing up, you know. Some people's paths kind of just grow apart. But when you start to look around, you realize that you don't really have a lot of friends. You're just like, damn, I want to make new friends. You kind of just, it's kind of like dating in the sense that you got to put yourself out there. You got to take yourself out on those solo dates and hopefully you meet people along the way. Like there's, I know people, for example, I listen to a podcast called Girls Gotta Eat. And they talk about it all the time, just going out and doing your own thing and, you know, not really going into it with any type of like mindset other than I'm going to go out tonight. I'm going to have a good time. If I meet people, I meet people. If not, I'm going to still have a good time all by myself. So I know for a fact, like even for them, they do like live shows and they've had people like go by themselves to their shows and leave with good friends. And it's putting yourself out there to events, to a bar, to a restaurant, to a club, whatever. Just go out there by yourself, have a good time, and people will gravitate towards that. If people see that you're having a good time and you're having fun, they're gonna want to like they're gonna be like, damn, she looks like she's a good time. Like, let me go talk to her, whether it's a guy or girl. And also, I feel like with girls, it's a little bit easier too when you go out like to a bar, especially when you're in. Man, y'all know that when you're in the girl's bathroom, all drunk as shit, and you see one girl that looks pretty, all you gotta do is like tell her that she looks pretty, and she'd be like, "Oh my god!" And then next thing you know, you're like best friends. It's just.
I was just about to say that.
It's just like making those. I feel like with girls, I will say though, some girls are kind of weird, and I get that, but it's definitely just making yourself like open to it. because it's very easy to be closed off and just have your headphones in, not making eye contact with people, not like just looking at what's in front of you. But you kind of have to hold yourself with confidence. Hold yourself with like a very smiley, very her high energy. Well, not really high energy, because even me, sometimes I'm just chilling. You just have to hold yourself with a lot of confidence and just make yourself look like you're having a good time. And some people want to gravitate towards that. And you can always just go to like a bar or an event or whatever. And if you see a group of people that look like, you know, that you'd vibe with or whatever, you can just always go up to or make eye contact with them, try and strike up a conversation. I know there's a lot of people who will get dressed up and go to a bar and just sit at the bar, you know, order a drink, chill, do their thing, and then eventually just start up a conversation with the person next to them or with the person that are like coming through the bar, the bartender. Even making friends with the bartender is always nice too. They'll introduce you to people. And also, sometimes you have people in your life that you don't think are really good friends, but you can always just reach out to them and have them introduce you to people, have them bring you around to their other groups of friends. You never know. Maybe you might click with someone in that group and that's your new best friend. Again, it's just putting yourself out there. It's just willing to like be uncomfortable. I feel like that's a big lesson in like both of these questions. It's like being comfortable and being uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable and put yourself out there to get something back from the universe. Whether it's like new friendship, a guy, or new opportunities. Like you can't just be closed off. You have to be okay with like putting yourself out there. Even if it doesn't work, because sometimes it's not going to work. And that's going to be okay, because at the end of the day, like, you have to be very comfortable in yourself and confident in yourself and your emotions and all that stuff for people to want to even get to know you. I hope someone took something from that. Next question.
That was loaded as shit.
It was, but I hope it made sense.
No, it did. It very much did. Well, okay, we got last question here, and this is from Zemix. So Zemix says, marry, fuck, kill Dumbledore, Snape, and Malfoy.
Dumbledore, Snape, and Malfoy.
Marry, fuck, kill.
That's hard. Oh my god. Marry, fuck, kill Dumbledore, Snape, and Malfoy. Fuck. See? But do I really want to marry any of them? Not really.
You gotta choose, though.
I gotta think about what... Okay. Oh my god, this is so hard. See, the thing with Snape, he's loyal as fuck. He, like, always had a thing for fucking Lily since, like, the beginning of time. And, like, did everything for her son just because he loved her. Like, always. But if you think about it, a lot of the things he did was fucked up. So it's like... And then there's Malfoy. The thing with Malfoy is that he was a product of his environment. You know, you can't totally fault him, you know? And after a while, when he finally, like, grew a pair and, like, made decisions for himself, he kind of became better. So it's like, I don't know. And then there's Dumbledore. If you think it, have you heard that thing where, like, Dumbledore actually was problematic in this whole thing? Because he really manipulated, like, a bunch of kids to do all these things.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. There's.
But mind
see,
you,
I'm so deep in, like, Harry Potter, like, theories. Bro, I gotta do, like, a whole episode on Harry Potter theories. Because I can go on about that shit. But, oh my god, I don't know. Okay. Fuck, marry, kill, Dumbledore, Snape, Draco. Okay, this is going to be controversial, but...
Actually, hold on. I left out an important part.
What?
Lucius.
But then it's 3 options. It should be 3 people.
No, Lucius Malfoy.
Okay. Oh, I thought you meant Malfoy as in Draco. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes
my bad. Yeah.
No. Okay.
I left that out. Sorry.
Okay. See, that's still a little difficult. Okay, now kill Lucius, cause fuck Lucius. See, but Dumbledore's gay.
Tuh.
Okay, no. Okay. Kill Lucius. Fuck Snape. Marry Dumbledore, because then we could both do our own thing. So it's like, we don't really gotta, you know? I don't know why we married, but like, fuck it.
Tax purposes.
Oh, there you go. Tax purposes. But yeah, fuck Lucius. He's dying. He's out. See, the thing is with fucking Snape, like, what if we fuck and then I'm like the next Lily and then he's just obsessed with me for like the rest of his life? But then that means he'd be loyal to me, even though he'd just be like a side hoe. Man, the thing with Snape, I love thinking about Snape though, because his story was so complex and complicated. Because you think about it, a lot of the shit he did was pretty fucked up, but it was all because like he loved Lily. But he's honestly, he's not the best person. It's like one of those characters where it's like, a lot of the things he did was fucked up. But then at the end, they try to justify it in the fact that, like, oh, it's because this whole time he loved Lily and he was always good. But does it really even out a lot of the shit he did? And the thing with Dumbledore, too, because a lot of people say how with Dumbledore, he was kind of fucked up, too, because at the end of the day, a lot of the choices that he made, he still manipulated a kid into doing a lot of the shit. Like, where it's like, you gotta save the world, even though you're like 12. Harry Potter in general is just very complex. The actor who played Draco Malfoy, Tom Felton, he actually just came out with a memoir, which is on my next reading list. But I don't know if you watched the reunion, but they talked, like,
No.
Emma Watson and him talk about how Emma Watson admitted how like she always had a thing for Tom Felton for like a long time when they were like shooting the films. She was like in love with him. It was like her first love, but like he never saw her like that at that time. Like he was just like, oh dude, like you're, especially because there was an age difference. I think there was like a 2 or 3 year age difference, which isn't a lot, but at the same time, when you're like a kid and you grow up with someone that close, sometimes you're just like, oh, that's like my little sister. And that's how Tom Felton saw her. But it's funny because like for a long time, whenever there were so many fucking, what is it called? Oh my God, fan fiction of like Draco and Hermione together. So when she said that in the reunion, people went nuts. But then people went even more nuts because like in his memoir, there's like this like forward part where Emma Watson actually wrote in it and he put it in the book. And she talks about like how they were always like, their love was just always so deep that like it was beyond like romance, that it was just like they were soulmates and like all this stuff. And I was just like, Mark. And then I think he admitted in the book too that like after a while, like, yeah, he kind of was in love with her too. But and I'm like, just get married, just get together, just like, it's like kind of like that one gif, now kiss.
What, fucking Mike Tyson and the fucking pigeons? Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
Now kiss. Bro, I fucking love Harry Potter. I will say, I think it's funny how like every year on like ABC Family, during Halloween and Christmas, they like qualify it in the movies that they should play for Halloween and Christmas. Because you know how like ABC Family does like the 30 Days of Halloween or something like that, or they play a bunch of Halloween movies. Harry Potter's always in there. Same thing with Christmas. They're always in there. And I'm like, are these really Halloween and Christmas movies? I mean, to me, yes, always. Like, especially during the holidays, they hit different, but are they really?
But not for nothing, but at least like in the first few films, it just kind of gives that kind of like holiday spirit in a way, in some oddly way. Obviously, with the first movie, when they're doing Halloween and like the troll gets into Hogwarts, and then obviously in the third movie when they constantly make those trips to that one town where it's always like snow and shit.
That's
so
true.
it gives off that holiday feel. At least in the first couple of movies. Then, well, after the fourth one, it's kind of like, nah, bro, this shit's dark.
We're all about it. Like,
we're all in.
No, but I think it's great that at Universal they finally incorporated Death Eaters for like Halloween time. Like for Horror Nights, they have a bunch of Death Eaters like walking around.
Dementors or Death Eaters?
No, Death Eaters. I feel like they have a missed opportunities with Dementors too.
What are the Death Eaters?
Like the it's kind of like Voldemort's like minions. So they wear like the pointy black hoods and like the masks. Kind of like the KKK, but Harry Potter. Basically. Instead of like white pointy hats, it's like black pointy hats. I forgot.
Oh, they're like a knockoff version of the Immortals from 300.
Sure. And then for what was I gonna say?
They should definitely have Dementors though. Like
Right, dude. I've said that since the park opened, or like that part of the park opened in Hollywood. I was just like, you guys have such a missed opportunity here for Halloween, and at least it's like a step forward. Like they have Death Eaters. I might get some. I feel like with Dementors, it is a little hard because
not really. They could do.
yes,
You know how they
know, but it's like, but it's because like it's since it's open. It'd be different if it was like enclosed. It'd be easier to like CGI it and like whatever.
Well, that's what I was gonna imply. You know how they have that show, the little show where they project everything.
Oh.
They could literally have a projections throughout the entire section in that Hogwarts area of Dementors, and not for nothing, but dude, what Universal can't afford some drones. You can't fucking have like a cloth that is shaped as a Dementor fly around and as a drone.
I was so sad because the day that the actor who plays Hagrid, when he died, I think they had a little show thingy with his voice, and I was just like, bro, that shit hurt my. I was so sad, dude. Okay, because the week that like he passed away, I was having a hard week as it was because of everything that was going on. So I was already sad. So when I found out that news, I was just fucking sad, man. And then on top of that, someone like I kept seeing the clip of him from the reunion where he was saying how like the movies can easily like be passed on to the next generation up until like even my kids, when they're older, they're going to be showing their grandkids because it's very easy to like continue it because they hold up. And he was like, I won't be here though. Hagrid will. And I was just like, stop, I'm gonna cry. I was so sad. And it's just like all of them keep dying and I'm like, man, everyone's getting old.
I ain't gonna lie, I just laughed at there was a tweet.
There were some funny ass tweets.
There was a tweet where I saw it was a picture of SZA on the beach. And because you know how SZA has that long hair, kind of like Hagrid. Someone quote tweeted it saying, "Rest in peace, Hagrid."
I was that like, one.
Bruh, I retweeted that
like,
shit. That shit was hilarious.
I was so sad, but I literally rewatched that reunion that night, and I was just like, I'm sad. I'm in shambles. And I was watching the Harry Potter movies. Those movies hold up, man. I will say though, the books are something else. And I will obviously, we don't support J.K. Rowling, whatever. We don't support the things she says, about the trans community. Obviously not, But I will say it would be cool if I would have loved to see it as a TV series because there's just so much that they could do with it. There's so much detail in the books that are not put in the movies, which obviously I get, time-wise, logistically, whatever. I get it, okay? I get it. But as a TV series, it would be cool. Like, if y'all can make legacies happen, which there's so much fucking back and forth about legacies, whatever. I know it's very debated, but, like, legacies sucked. I tried to get in it because I was I liked the Vampire Diaries, and I liked the originals. Out of all those series, the original was the best one. You can fight me on that. The originals was the best. But Legacies sucked ass. I was kind of happy when it ended. I was just like, cancel that shit. Horrible. But if fucking CW can have that, I know HBO Max could make Harry Potter series happen. Which, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, like, in, 20 years.
Yeah, I believe that's something that you and Eddie had mentioned in the previous podcast, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and check that out. Shout out Eddie.
Eddie. Thank you again for coming, Eddie.
Yeah, you were saying particularly, that it should be picked up and as a series, and I do believe down the road they could entertain that, you know.
Bro,
And,
the way they have like Games of Thrones, I'm like, y'all can do it.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Bro,
House of Dragons, yo, you want to talk about that real quick?
Oh, bro, House of Dragons. Spoilers.
Nah, it's been 2 weeks. Fuck that.
But I'm telling, I'm a spoiler warning, bro. Poor little Luke. I knew it was coming because I already knew what happened because Homeboy had already explained to me what happens like going forward. But like seeing it, and I actually kind of liked the direction that they took in the fact that they were like, Aemon didn't necessarily mean to that he just wanted to scare him. I like that direction. I kind of do because that kind of does seem like because at the end of the day they are kids, all of them. Even Aemon, he looks like he's 30, but he's 16, I think. And I did kind of like that direction that they took with it. I will say though, I kind of hope because supposedly George R.R. Martin has said that there are deleted scenes that might be in the Blu-ray, and you know, people, they put that shit on YouTube. So I'm excited if that is true because I want to see the deleted scenes. Because there's a scene, because they wanted, at first, when the episodes were coming out, there were people who were saying, like, oh, Damon does have a soft spot for, like, his daughters and his wife that passed. What was her name? Leanna, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And there's a scene where, like, he's talking to his daughters. And I don't know exactly what happens, but I think it was, like, shortly after their mom passed. You can see him hug them. But they changed the direction because they don't want people to think that Damon is a completely good person. Because he does have those vindictive, like, power-hungry side of him. Which you could see, like, in that last episode, especially when he's, like, arguing with her. But I love that moment when she was like, he never told you, like, about, like, the prophecy and, like, whatever. Because you could tell that it made her realize, like, my dad really did just want this for me. Like, he wanted me to, like, become the next, you know, queen person in power. Like, he only trusted me with it. He never even told Damon. But also, fuck Alicent. I mean, I understand, but also fuck her. She sucks. I also just am not a big fan of people when, like, they let their religion, like, cloud their judgment. I'm like, fuck her. But also, fuck Aemon, because he killed Luke, and I was so sad. I was like, poor little Luke. He deserved better. But also, you just show, like, the dragons, they're just something else, man.
Yeah, they were saying how, like, that's something Perla was telling me, how, like, yeah, that they still need to put respect on the dragons because at the end of the day, although they're letting, they're letting them control them for a bit, they're not completely under their control, and they could do whatever the fuck they want at any given moment, which is some shit. But
yeah, that's just wild. But then, who else? What else happened?
it's just, to me,
bro,
yeah.
Fuck Allison's dad, dude. Like, he pisses me off so much. I'm like, bro, no.
The hand?
Yes. But you know who else pisses me off? Sir Kristen. Oh my god, I can't wait for the day that they fucking kill him off. Oh, fuck that guy. He's so annoying. He pisses me off. You know why he pisses me off? Because you know for a fact that if she had run away with him, this wouldn't be an issue. But because she decided to, like, keep her fucking... She's like, dude, like, I want to run away with you, but also, like, this is my, like... This is my birthright. Like, this is what I'm, like, I was born into this. What do you want me to do? It's like, he was so pissed off. He fucking changed completely and was, like, so fucking bitter and fucking petty. And now he wants to act like a little bitch over here. Bro, he was over here trying to fucking fuck up her kids. I was like, you're a little bitch. You're a little bitch because you're trying to fuck up some kids? Nah, man. He was ready to fucking take, what's his name? Luke's eye for Aemon's. And I'm like, man, no, fuck you, man. Ugh, fuck Kristen. I can't wait till they kill him off. Sorry. I feel very passionate about it.
Well, you're going to have to keep that passion for 2 years.
I know, man.
Which I'll be honest, I've been hearing or seeing speculations as to why it's gonna get pushed back until like 2024 because it's not like they don't have to wait for the story to end. It's not like Game of Thrones where the guy was literally trying to finish the fucking book and then they were like, oh yeah, like we don't have time. But that's other politics too, because the writers were trying to like get in business for themselves and shit, and then that shit ended up blowing up in their face. Haha. But I feel like I just don't think HBO felt like this was gonna be like it was gonna get received well. So I feel like they didn't greenlight the second season right away until they got the reaction to how season 1 was gonna be. But
especially because of all the pushback with the last season of Game of Thrones. Yes. I can get it. So it's like they weren't sure if people are gonna like it, but at the same time, like that's the thing with Games of Thrones. If you think about it, it was very solid in the beginning. So we'll see how they maneuver. Some people didn't like the last episode of House of Dragons, though.
Really?
Yeah, I saw some debate about it that they like, because they didn't like the way that it kind of just like was like cliffhanger. But at the same time, like it's understandable. It's like this is season 1 is pretty much the setup of the Dance with Dragons. Yeah, it's a setup. Shit. So like obviously it's gonna the acting, like when you see, like you saw her heart just like she turned around and she was like, we're burning them all up. We're about to fucking fuck up all of them. I was like, I'm ready. Oh my God, in the scene, like in the episode 4 with, what's her name? Rhaenys? Like her aunt.
Oh, yeah.
When she came up with the dragon, I was like, burn them all. I got why she didn't.
I wish. Well, duh, if she did, there would be no fucking story.
I know, there'd be no story. But then also because, but also what they were saying is that for her, like as a mom, because like Alicent was like guarding her kids, like she couldn't do that as a mom. But also she didn't want the blood on her hands. Like she knew that she could stop a war, just like fucking ending them right then and there. But at the same time, she didn't want to be responsible, which I can get to. I get it. The next season's gonna be good because they have confirmed that the Starks are gonna be in the next season.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
well, I mean, you saw too, like, I think...
Well, I've never read the books, but I hear a bunch of shit pops off in there. And apparently, something in the books, something very, very, like, traumatic happens in the books that people can't wait for it to be, like, visually represented on the show. Like, something very, like apparently people were saying that, oh, yeah, shit's on the fucking, the Red Wedding type shit. I was like, ooh. I can't wait for that.
I restarted Games of Thrones, so I can't
get past that first season, man.
It's
like the same shit with fucking The Office. Like I can't.
I mean, I think with the first season, it only took me a few episodes. I was just like, yeah, whatever. But
I can't do it.
I feel like with Games of Thrones, because a lot of people were saying that Games of Thrones kind of got you invested a little bit more with the characters than House of Dragons. But I feel like yes and no. Because with Games of Thrones, I feel like there's so many more dynamics you have to deal with Games of Thrones. I was like, because with Games of Thrones, especially in the first season, you have like the North, you have the South, like with the Lannisters, the Starks. Then you have all these like side stories with like Daenerys, and then Theon goes off, and then Bran, and they're like all like, which I think kind of just shows in itself how good Games of Thrones was, because it's like it had to balance so many storylines.
On a structural level, it was very well, you know, obviously we ignore the last season completely, but you know,
I still haven't watched it.
Dude, well, you're watching it now, so you're by the end of it, you're gonna be like, wow.
I mean, I know what happens, which
but listen, right now, as you're currently watching it through, you know, season by season, once you get to the end, you're gonna be like, oh, I understand people. I totally get it. But
I mean, I get it already, because I remember what happened. I've already watched it, and it's been a while. It's just after watching House of the Dragons, I was like, oh, I kind of want to rewatch Games of Thrones now. It's good. It's a good show. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of good costumes coming out of it too. Cause I always saw people in like Games of Thrones costumes, but at the time, like I hadn't watched it yet, so I didn't get it. The closest thing I got to understanding Games of Thrones was the South Park episodes about Games of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
the Black Friday ones, which those are fucking top tier hilarious. But I remember when I watched that, and then afterwards I watched the show, I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. but it was still really funny. Like South Park, I need to watch. I don't think they have a new season yet, but with South Park, it's just like hit or miss. I feel like the last few seasons have been but I like good like old school South Park. Those jokes were hitting. Same thing I was thinking about with The Simpsons when they used to always have like the Halloween specials. I feel like those were like you looked forward to those like every freaking year.
Nah, man, I lost all respect for Simpsons when they dropped Apu.
I know. I was like, oh, I get it because it's like racially insensitive, but
Nah, dude, I gotta show you Akash Singh's comedy special called "Bring Back Apu," and mind you, he's he comes from Indian parents and shit, and there's like a joke on there. He was all like, "Wow, like the Simpsons cracked under like some wokish shit, and they took away Apu due to like racial insensitivity." Yeah. And then he was all like, "Motherfucker, you're glorifying us by saying, look, we can make it in this fucking country, be able to own a fucking Quickie Mart and shit like that, you assholes."
It's all just perception.
And and he was saying how like, yeah, that was the only Indian representation we had growing up, you assholes, and y'all took it away. So it's like, come on now, that's like wokeism backfiring like it always does.
That's such a thing about like our society right now is that everything's just so. It's like you can offend someone one way, but then if you look at it another way, it's like.
But that's the problem. People don't like to. People only will see it one way and will neglect the other side of it.
It is true. It's true. I really like that question that Z sent about like fuck, marry, kill. I kind of want to think of a couple other good ones like that. Cause for sure I'm gonna do one with Z, so I kind of want to do a couple with him because I feel like that one was a good one. I want to think of other ones. But yeah, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up. But this is fun. This is a good one. We're just shooting the shit like always, And like I said, participate. Ask. We'll probably do another Q&A some other time, and I think for another one we'll probably do like an anon one because I feel like some people get like self-conscious, like we say who said it question. So I know there's like a website where you can like post on your story and like people can just ask questions, but you don't see who asked them. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Thinking. We have a lot coming up that I'm very excited for. I do have a couple guests lined up for this next month, and then we'll go into December and the holiday times, and then we're gonna call it for season 1, which honestly has been excited. We've already got. There's gonna be episode 11. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Look at us.
Yeah.
Proud of us. And then we'll
proud of you, dude.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying, bro. But yeah, guys, I'm happy, Today, like I said, like I've been going through all that and going through some other stuff in my life, but I like to take things day by day. And today, it's a good day, and I'm happy. And I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope you guys enjoy the holidays. I hope you guys are enjoying Halloween. And I hope you guys have a great one. Love you guys.
That was Lynn Lopez, ladies and gentlemen, and we are out.
That was fun.